A little dog, seeking shelter from the rain, was heartlessly shooed away by a man. Undeterred, the dog took refuge next to a trash can near the door, shivering in the downpour. The next morning, as the man went to dispose of his garbage, it accidentally hit the dog's head. The dog, thinking it was being offered food, decided to make the man his owner. From then on, whenever the man left the house, the little dog would quietly follow behind. Eventually, the man noticed the dog trailing him but chose to ignore it. One day, an unexpected incident occurred, causing the man to freeze at the sight of the dog's pitiful state. Despite his initial hesitation, the man couldn't bring himself to abandon the dog after watching a heartwarming scene on television. He hopped on his beat-up tricycle and headed toward the hospital with the dog in tow. Fortunately, after a thorough examination, the dog was found to be in good health. However, the man had no intention of keeping it, believing he wasn't the dog's rightful owner and that taking it to the hospital was already fulfilling his responsibility. The doctor, on the other hand, insisted that the man take the dog home, sensing a deep connection between them. Reluctantly, the man brought the dog back to his house. Coming home from work to the dog's excited greeting brought him joy, but his delight quickly turned to regret upon discovering the house in shambles. Determined to find the dog a new home, the man arranged for a potential adopter to come and collect it. However, when the man returned home and opened the door, the dog once again surprised him by even dismantling the couch. As feathers floated throughout the room, the man angrily prepared to scold the dog, only to be interrupted by the arrival of the prospective owner, who witnessed the scene of the destructive dog and the abusive master. Without hesitation, the potential adopter fled. Feeling embarrassed by the misunderstanding, the man's frustration grew as neighbors gathered at his doorstep, protesting his decision to keep the dog. Seeing their disdain for the animal, he made a bold choice. He would legally adopt the dog himself. The next day, the man took the dog to obtain a license. When asked for the dog's name, he hesitated before coming up with a delightful name on the spot, Charlie. Upon returning home, the man suddenly collapsed. Charlie barked anxiously until a neighbor noticed and called for an ambulance. The dog ran alongside the ambulance all the way to the hospital, waiting outside like a worried family member. At that moment, the man felt a long-lost warmth, realizing that adopting Charlie was the right decision. A few days later, the man found Charlie lying on the ground in agony. Without a second thought, he rushed the dog to the hospital, only to be told that Charlie had a severe illness with a maximum of 2 years left to live. The doctor advised against further treatment, suggesting that enjoying their remaining time together was the best choice. Back at home, the man was feeling down, but Charlie excitedly barked at the snowy mountains on the television. The man finally understood that Charlie's wish was to see the pristine white snow. Without hesitation, he quit his job the following day and set off towards the dreamed-of mountains with his meager savings. Along the way, the man noticed Charlie's enthusiastic barking at a paraglider. Despite the high cost, he didn't hesitate to let the dog experience it. As Charlie's condition worsened, the man knew time was running out and was determined to reach the mountains to fulfill the dog's wish. Exhausting his last savings, he boarded a bus with Charlie, finally arriving at the long-awaited snowy peaks. Suddenly, soldiers stopped the vehicle, informing them that a landslide had blocked the road ahead, and it would take at least half a month to clear the path. But Charlie didn't have time to wait. The man pleaded with the soldiers to let them through, but they arrested him for disturbing the peace. That night, in the tent, the man listened to Charlie's labored breathing and realized the dog might not survive the night. He carefully placed Charlie in his backpack and snuck out of the military camp, embarking on a night-long trek up the mountain. As the sun rose, they finally reached the summit. Seeing the dreamed-of snow before them, Charlie miraculously regained his energy, joyfully playing and blending into the white landscape.